from executive session at 6 p.m.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion, roll call.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we have the agenda before us. Are there any additions, corrections, deletions from the agenda? I would like to add one under concerns of trustees. It would be gold stars with it.
And Trustee Sabo, I'd like to remove Vaughn Director Fire Relations. We will have something for the board on the next meeting for that.
Any other additions, corrections, deletions? If not, the agenda will stand as read. So that takes us to the sheriff's report. Detective is going to give it tonight.
Good evening, everybody. Got the May report here. By the way, I hear it's a happy birthday for you.
Oh, thank you.
May report, calls for service, 1533, that's up 24% last year. Crashes are 68, they're down. Crashes with injuries are 7, they're down 41% from last year. Alarms, 117, they're down 10% from last year. Traffic stops are up significantly, 302, that's up 40%. Citations are up, 213, up 20%. Arrests, 44, they're down from last year. Vacation checks, 112, that's up 61% from last year. Detective report, 18 cases assigned for May, 3 closed, arrest, 1 arrest for robbery, and we arrested 5 people for a drive-by shooting. So
That was one off Clayton Avenue.
that was one behind Fisher's Inn.
You guys got through from a meeting to go to that, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
That's what I thought.
So that's my report, that's all.
Any questions? Nobody in the audience has anything for the sheriff, I would guess.
Everybody in the audience is the
Any-
sheriff.
Anybody up here have anything for the sheriff? Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, no unfinished business, that takes us to new business.
Thank you. Item number 1 is a resolution for the Plain Township Board of Trustees to authorize payment to Play World Mid-States in the amount of $4,200 to be taken from Fund 01B02 for a cozy cocoon at Veterans Park.
So moved. Second, it's been moved and seconded, discussion.
Art,
I didn't have a chance to look at that. I guess I want to talk to you about first. I mean, I don't mind, but I never, just the one for replacing the car?
Yeah, I thought when we talked about it,
Yeah.
that was it, but that's up to you guys. It's the second time
I just
it's
see-
broken, the wheel is off, and the
Can
safety.
you look at us?
Don't we have another one of these? All right. Don't we already have one of these?
We have a cozy cocoon, yes.
Yeah. Over
Yeah.
at
Over
Alpine.
Over at Alpine.
Yeah.
That one is.
Yeah, they
How's
get-
it- do we know?
Oh,
Get in
you wanted
it.
to look at the cozy cocoon?
Yeah,
Yes, we
right.
forgot about
Yeah,
that.
they get in it, they spin around, and, I mean, I'm just going by
You
the
know,
pictures, not
we're-
personal experience, but.
Well, you can fit in it and spin around.
How's it being operated over there? It seemed to be a popular thing. I just feel bad that she said she researched for the car. They have no other different car, it's the same car. So we've had a lot of trouble with that car. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't,
so,
how do you feel? Is it something we think that's going to be just as fun as that car? I think that take a car away, instead of replacing another car, then we have just want something there to make sure that it's going to be something as fun as that car.
Isn't that the only moving thing that we have at the park?
Wait, the kids went.
The car was, but it has broken on 2 different occasions.
No, I mean, the new one
Oh, the new
actually
one.
moves, so it's
Yeah.
the
You can
only
rock
moving.
it and
Yeah.
spinning, so it goes
Yeah.
both ways. The positive about this is that
Yeah.
it's also an inclusive piece, so we would add, veterans have a piece that can be played on by all. So,
Yeah, to answer your question, yeah, kids are using it because a lot of times they'll sit down and take a rest out of the shade, like in the shade of it, and still be with their friends on the playground. You do see kids, if you're talking about 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, that'll spin it with somebody in it, and then it's a lot of fun. I don't mean to chuckle, it's just that's what they use it for, it's kind of fun to watch.
Can you see it being equal to or if it's as fun as the car?
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, it serves the same purpose,
it
but
does the same thing.
it allows that playground to be a little more inclusive as opposed to just adaptive. So it's making that step that direction.
I guess enough in the conversation I had, I was almost curious about the increased volume of children we're gonna see over at Veterans Park because of the splash pad.
True.
We're gonna probably see a higher potential frequency for a need for that inclusiveness, whereas, Alpine's been our hidden gem, and it's getting that type of
Yeah.
attraction and use.
We
So I just,
we do have kids in wheelchairs using the splash pad, which is awesome, and that's what it's designed for. So this there would be the one
I love
piece
it.
they could play on beside a swing.
I like it because I think it still gives them that attraction, they can get in and it moves, but this one actually not only rocks, which
Right.
is just what the car did,
Right.
but this one spins also. So I think it gives them another dimension of, that different activity with the same.
Now, would we
device.
love to put another car in there? Yes, but it's been broken
Yeah,
twice.
That's good, I think it's the
Yeah.
second, maybe the third time you've
Yeah.
had it.
Second for me,
Yeah.
in particular. I
Oh,
don't
then
know.
it's the third,
It's the third time.
yeah, because wasn't actually the first year we had it,
yes,
probably somebody paid it.
Something like
Yes.
that.
Vandalized it.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay then?
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Roll call?
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
All right, thank you. That takes us to the fiscal officer's report. Mr. Wolf.
Thank you. Fiscal Officer number 1 is a request for resolution to authorize the payment of pending warrants in the amount of $751,137.02.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Fiscal Officer number 2 is a request for resolution to authorize payment of regular payroll in an amount not to exceed $250,000.
I'll move on. Fiscal officer number 2.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Fiscal Officer number 3 is a request for resolution to authorize payment for the following medical claims.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Fiscal Officer number 4 is the investment report for the month of May. The total interest for the month was $13,917.15.
Pretty good. It's close to 14 grand. Very good. Very.
Fiscal Officer number 5 is the bank reconciliation for May. If there's any questions, I'm available after the meeting. Fiscal Officer number 6 is a request for resolution to authorize the following transfers.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Fiscal Officer number 7 is a request for resolution to authorize a refund as follows for overpayments for EMS as requested by Ohio Billing.
I will move on fiscal officer number 7.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Fiscal Officer number 8 is a request for a resolution that the Plain Township Fiscal Officer shall hereby be authorized to transfer $200,000 from the Police District Fund 09 to the Capital Equipment Fund as follows.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
This is planning for future purchases. We know that every year we're going to have to purchase probably a couple vehicles, radios with them. I don't want the board to ever be in a situation where that money is not there, so it's like a savings account for those specific purchases.
And that just basically follows the terms of the Budget Commission,
Yes.
which started us on this process, and we do it with multiple departments, and it just made sense to do it here as well. Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Fiscal Officer number 9 is a request for resolution to authorize the Plain Township Fiscal Officer to request an additional amended certificate of estimated resources from the Stark County Auditor for $200,000 and to appropriate these funds as follows.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
And that concludes the Fiscal Officer report.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf. That takes us to the administrator.
Thank you. Administrator number 1 is simply change in fund. A fund was created. So this is a resolution to amend Resolution 18-264 to authorize payment to Earth and Wood for yard waste now to be taken from Fund 01A 26Y.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded, discussion. We are just simply doing this as the new method for our yard waste.
And so we can track our payments in from solid waste, payments out to Earth and Wood only.
Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Item number 2 is a resolution to approve and authorize payment for Southwood Fence for the labor and material for the slide gate operators for our yard waste site in the amount of $15,760 from Fund 01B02 to be reimbursed by the 2018 program startup grant through the Stark Tusk Wayne Joint Solid Waste Management District.
So moved.
Second, it's been moved and seconded, discussion. Ms.
So,
Bailey.
yes, we did receive over a $17,000 grant to do this project. It's a reimbursement grant. And we came in, which is nice, so maybe somebody could have our extra funds under our estimate, and it's already in place, ready to go. So we will be reimbursed for this
And all
grant.
this just coincides with the fact that we don't have to have somebody there to open or close. So if they were to get tied up for some reason and freeze up people, so
That's right.
it just made sense to do this. And we're grateful to the Solid Waste District for allowing us to do that. Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Item number 3 is a resolution to enter into the attached agreement between the Plain Township Trustees and the Stark County Health Department and to authorize payment of $5,137.60 for the 2018 mosquito control program.
So moved.
Second.
And moved and seconded, discussion.
That is the highest that we could possibly pay. It's a, charge as we would potentially use it because they do spraying within the township. But if they were to trap West Nile, get heavy complaints from a neighborhood, then they'll go out and spray at that rate that's in the contract.
Anything else? Roll call, please.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
And item number 4 is a resolution to continue to pay for the Nixle Solutions and to allow myself to execute all documentation. And the cost is $5,500. We put not to exceed, I'm not sure why it went that high, but it is $5,500.
I'll move on, administrator number 4.
Second. Second down.
Mr. Lino seconded, it's been moved and seconded, discussion.
Yeah, we've actually, all the department heads have had training on the Nixle program on how to put out notices such as the snow bans, road closures. Our sheriff's office uses it in conjunction with us, and we've had a very large influx of registrants now that it can be used in these, all these different ways. I've actually had calls from other townships and municipalities who have had incidents happen with nothing in place, looking for our opinion, and it's something you hate to use because you know what, it could be a bad situation, but we have it for free for residents to sign up.
Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
The last item is a resolution to authorize and approve payment for two 2019 Ford Explorer Interceptors from Waco Auto Family at a cost of $31,280 each, plus the 45-day tag at $18.50, not to exceed $62,597, to be taken from Fund 09807.
So moved. Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
Typically, we would wait till the end of the year to look at ordering vehicles. However, Mr. Arcino got a notice from Wacom that the 2019s are discontinued. There's just, I don't know how many are in stock, not a ton. It's first come, first serve. Went through our vehicles, and we still have 4 over 100,000 miles. 2 that are getting up there, and even our chargers are moving up there. So instead of waiting, and then who knows how long it would take for the 2020s, and then all of the orders that may come in, I thought it behooved the board to look at that now.
Anything else?
Roll call.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
And that's the end of the administrative report.
Thanks. That takes us to the Fire Department Chief Schallenberger.
Thank you. Yeah, item number 1 is our monthly report.
Hey Chuck, how much of an impact with the 6277 ramp area is that impacting the response? I know you've staffed over there accordingly, but I'm just curious if it's having a
Mostly just on when we have units from the, I guess you say the east side moving to the west. But we have staffed 2 ambulances over there, almost 100% of the time, and that helps us if we get back-to-back calls over there. Because now that 77 is open, a little, it's a little narrow, it's moving, it's not backed up, so. But
That's a good question. Yeah, it's going to change.
yeah.
What, a day or so? What was that? They're closing it again for the evening.
77
South.
south off, they're paving
Yeah.
that, just for the nighttime, I guess. But yeah, I mean, there's been a little bit of impact when we have multiple calls over there, or multiple units responding. So we have to either go 38 to Westmoreland, or, get off at Harrison, come, or Cleveland to Harrison, come around. So there's times when it was closed, it would be backed up all the way to Cleveland Avenue.
They're expecting to have that done in time for Hall of Fame, though, right?
Yeah, that's
It's actually been moving along pretty good
Yeah.
on that. Surprising.
I talked to a gentleman the other day, said they were about 6 days ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
So, wow. So-
there's always activity, so that's.
77 focus on July for the
Yeah, it's supposed to be ready for the Hall of Fame Festival.
You want to just give us a quick overview of the confined space class that was here?
Yeah, actually, the one picture is the
Yeah.
confined space class from our training building, and then I was gonna add that at the end, just special thanks to the road department. I mean, they allowed, they had the operator down there for our class for safety and to digging different types of trenches. We were able to integrate their Vector into the program to help give them, give their operators a chance to kind of integrate with us if we had to remove loose material from the hole. So their operators got some stuff. We got to see, I'd never really seen a Vector used that way to move soil, around a person, obviously,
Yeah.
or, a mannequin in this case. So it kind of gives us our next step in some of our tech rescue stuff to be able to have that. So the picture there is confined space.
Yeah.
The text pictures were post the monthly report.
Yeah, that's what caught my attention.
But yeah,
Thanks, Joe.
so yeah, it was great, and I appreciate road department employees, they worked well with us, and got to do a couple different things down there, so. And Wayne County Fire School, because the first day was out there, and they let us use the facility out there for their static trenches.
Okay. Number 2.
Item number 2 is a resolution by the Plain Township Board of Trustees, Stark County, Ohio, to authorize purchase and payment of rescue equipment from Powell Rescue Systems in the amount not to exceed $31,500 per attached quote from Fund 28A05.
So moved. Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Those battery-operated pieces of equipment
This is the
are
last-
amazing.
Last phase of replacing all the gasoline ones we had. And, you know, kind of those things, lighter, quicker, faster kind of deals, less manpower. I can, you know, be able to operate them a little quicker with the manpower we have. And these all have twice the cutting force as what we used to have. So the other ones were about 15 years old. Steel's changed, you know, they're, you know, different metals now they use and all the reinforcements. So we were having some trouble with some of the cuts on the, you know, on the cars. And so these will help get kind of an east side set of tools and a west side set of tools. You know, so we, if we have, some, you know, different personnel out, we have some backup in place. So, and then we are going to trade in some equipment, just waiting for the final price back. They're going to give us a little trade-in value for some of our old stuff. So, and, sometimes body shops, stuff like that, use them to, you know, for car stuff. So, work for that.
Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
And that concludes fire department business. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. That takes us to road. Mr. Iacino.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, item number 1 is the monthly report for May. Do you have any questions?
How's, still making headway up there on Butler with the development?
Yeah, I was gonna tell Mr. Williams here, they didn't close the road till yesterday. It was never closed last week, as far as I know, as of Friday.
See, I was through there.
And I do know the date was the week before, so they already missed a week's work. They didn't even have any equipment up there till yesterday, so,
You're on timeline.
Yeah, they are.
yeah.
They know that.
Yeah, they,
They buffered it, I think.
they've built in some
Yeah.
padding.
Any questions? Okay, number 2.
Item number 2 is a resolution to accept Dale Hinder's retirement after 16 years of service with the township effective June 30th, 2018. Read his letter to the Plain Township trustees. Please accept this as my official letter of resignation from my position with the road department. The last day of my employment will be June 29, 2018, as I turn the full retirement age of 66 on July 3rd, 2018. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a member of the road department for 16 years. Sincerely, Dale Hinder.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
We'll miss Dale. You do a lot of things that nobody
You
else
do our
wants to
sweeper.
do.
Yeah.
Even if it's-
He's our sweeper guy.
He's very meticulous
Yeah.
on all the equipment.
I know it.
He really knows he takes care of equipment.
He's real meticulous.
He's always there when we need him at winter time, so.
Good worker.
Coming out a couple times wherever he was sleeping.
Yeah.
Big smile.
Yeah. He took me on the sweeper once when he got that new one. That's pretty cool. He loved what he did.
Things are changing, people are changing.
Roll call.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
And road 3 is a resolution authorizing posting of temporary no parking signs on both sides of the streets listed. This will be for the Hall of Fame proceedings. Signs will be posted on August 1st, and removed on August 6th.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
Our list of streets have shrunk, as you can see, we had to redo the resolution, so, we always put a few up on Canton Township, they'll pass the resolution for us to do it.
Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. That takes us to zoning. Mr. Ferrara.
Thank you, sir. Item number 1 is the monthly report.
Some nice pictures on the front of that.
Yeah, I'm sure. They've had quite a few crews working on that place. That's all at the same time. Wow.
And if you have any other questions or anything. Number 2.
Item number 2 is a resolution to declare items A through H as nuisance abatements.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
I think it's through I, isn't it?
Yes, should be aye.
Aye.
I have aye also. 28.
Also move on zoning.
Yeah.
Through I.
No. Like that, A through I.
Yeah.
Jerry, second.
And
Yeah, it's been moved and seconded, correct?
Yes.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
And item number 3 is a resolution to declare items A through J as nuisance payments.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
And that's all for zoning.
Thank you, Mr. Ferrara. That takes us to parks. Mr. Steinberg.
Thank you. Item number 1 is our monthly report. If you have any questions, I can answer them.
There has been a big uptake and also it helps our parks, but in the amount of reservations at veterans because of
We're sold out.
that. Yeah, I don't know that you could even get a date,
We're sold out to the end of the season.
you know.
I guess my question is too, I mean, that's a good thing. Obviously, we want that. But are we seeing an increase in expenses over there, say
No.
because of increased waste and
No.
stuff like that?
There's certainly increased waste and volume, but we have those scheduled out each day anyway to be cleaned up. So it's just part of our normal daily routine. And we do it 7 days a week. We have our weekend.
Yeah, it's always been 7 days a week.
So, yeah, we are spending time cleaning it, but it's no more time because we have those scheduled out accordingly. But yeah, there's a lot more waste.
Hey, bro, I had a resident, and I answered correctly, but I just want to hear it from you. Their concern was next month they have a shelter there for reunion. They were worried about, is that their shelter, or do they have to share with the spike? And I said,
It's
no.
theirs.
I believe that becomes a private party that's yours,
Correct.
so.
And that's why they print out those permits, so they can show that they have reserved that shelter.
Do we have something there that says private?
We're putting it up, we actually just got it
We
in.
ordered it,
Very good.
so it shows when it's in use, so you can't get in there.
Thank you. I totally correct. I appreciate that.
Item number 2 is a resolution, Plain Township Board of Trustees to authorize payment to Pepsi Cola in the amount of $26.4924 from Fund 14805E for beverages at the concession stand. This purchase was made in May. It was made in anticipation of our lacrosse tournaments. We did sell out of the product.
So moved.
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
Just discussion, I mean, this is sort of an option, but how long has it been since we've had Pepsi and Coke rebid
We
services?
unfortunately are locked into a contract for so many more years or so many more cases.
How many more years?
Yeah. We're how many more cases?
Yeah.
I have to look to see the exact amount of this. I didn't sign the contract, so I have to look and see what the exact amount is, but we're kind of locked into one currently. I actually spoke with Mr. Haynes about it, I think, a year or two after I got here, and he said, good luck. That's it.
It's one of those still monitor
Yeah.
competitions.
Pretty tough.
Good understanding.
Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 3 is a resolution for the board to authorize payment to Hartville Outdoor Products, the amount of $26.50 to be taken from Fund 01F 02A for concession shed at Veterans Park.
So
Second's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
Well, as we mentioned, there is a huge uptake in usage over at Veterans Park, so much so that it looks like a summer pool over there. There are blankets and coolers and families and lawn chairs, and I'm telling you, the entire space is being used and used. I was down there at 2 o'clock today, and there was not a parking spot to be had. So we thought if we could put a concession shed up and permanently staff it, we might see some revenue for Veterans Park too.
Yeah. Outstanding.
Anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
yes.
Thank you. And the last item is a discussion item for Salute to Veterans. It is on a Sunday this year, 11/11. And it's typically been the goal so far to stay with the actual day. If that's the case, I wanted to bring to the board's attention, we may have to move the ceremony back till at least 1 so the church can clear from its morning activities and worship hours. I'm open to any and all suggestions. I just was hoping to find some direction so when I left here I could get moving on it.
Personally, I'm a big advocate for keeping it on Veterans Day.
Probably should, because I don't know what you get, it would be a different day, you know, that's their day.
Yeah, because I mean, you pulled in a day on Saturday, okay, it's somebody's weekend, I mean,
Right.
you pulled in on a Friday, I guess it just keep pushing or pulling.
It has to
All
stay
right,
on that.
I mean, we can shorten the program, I mean,
You
let's
take a
face it,
lunch.
the last year or two, we've had breakfast and lunch
Right,
and
no,
lunch.
it could just be
And
a
most of those folks are
yeah.
coming going,
Hey,
I
respect
gotta eat twice, what? Can I take that
So
to go?
we're thinking
So I
like
think-
a brunch or a lunch, right?
Yeah, we still go.
After church,
Right.
somewhere targeting,
I mean, because it's, let's face it, for, I mean, everybody that volunteers, puts in the time right here, I mean, there's a lot of man hours, and that just makes for a long day.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
whether you're coming, and you're going, and you're coming back, this may help us.
Brunch.
May I bring up one other thing, and I just want to hear the board's opinion? We haven't had a ton of attendance, I don't think, at the flag retirement ceremony. Is the board so interested in doing that? Or do you want to move on from that? I'm just, like I said, I'm just here trying to get some direction to kind of put the bones together for the timeline.
I still think that's I mean, last year wasn't the first two.
Certainly up to you folks.
then, is that when we also start taking down all the other flags?
We took them down last year in between, myself and myself took them
Do
down
they
in
have
between
to
last
come
year.
down that day? He needs to take them that day?
No, we've had flexibility.
It'd be nice to leave them up all Veterans Day, especially since it's a Sunday, and maybe take them down when everybody gets to work on Monday, just so it's out all
Nobody will
Veterans
come
Day.
to work on Monday.
Oh, Tuesday, oh, yeah.
A lot of times come down because it was weather, we had the storms.
First 2 years was weather related. Last year we just took them down because we had the time.
All right, yeah.
Well, they
But it is nice to keep them.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
But we have to have them lighted too,
And
right?
we just have to be, we also have to be cognizant of, I mean, Steve is,
You're right.
I mean, he's getting a lot more demand
Mhm.
across northeast Ohio for that,
Yeah, not thinking we're not here on Monday, that wouldn't be a good idea.
which actually brings about, see what we can do to work behind the scenes to actually get a sponsor for that to help.
Donation project.
What's that?
Flags.
Well, I think even if we get a corporate sponsor or something for those flags, because I mean, Steve has to reinvest in the wear and tear of those, plus actually the proceeds that he gets on any donations and stuff.
We just got a $500 sponsor tonight that I bet would be willing to do that.
What's that?
Eric's law firm is sponsoring, so would you be willing to put it, towards our event, towards that?
As far as I'm concerned, you can put it towards whatever you want.
I'm sure I can get Davey back in again.
And to Scott's point, I don't know if Scott even knows this, but when Steve was with John and I a couple of weeks ago, this is a business he's now starting.
Yeah.
These flags are gonna move around and be rented and things of that nature, so it wouldn't hurt to move that direction to be prepared for that, because he has been very generous in his donation.
Yeah.
He was making a trip to Pennsylvania, I think that following week, that's why he wanted to get those
Niagara
back.
Falls, yeah.
Yeah, which
Somewhere.
we're gonna be, quite frankly, at his discretion if he needs them down.
Yep.
Yeah, and plus, if we're not here on Monday, it's probably not a good idea to leave them. Is the board okay with the 1 o'clock start
I'm good.
with the lunch?
And then the flag retirement ceremony?
Personally, I still, that was one.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk
Not
about
really a
that.
big show for that, right?
Yeah, we don't get a lot of people, it's mostly our people.
It's our people, yeah.
We'll table it and
All right.
put it in. That's something we can certainly plan for as we go on. This gives me enough direction to get started.
Okay.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, that takes us to communications.
Thank you. We received, Rob received a letter that reads, "I can't begin to thank you enough for everything. Please thank those who prepared the invitations and programs so professionally done. Also, thank Chief Schellenberger for the use of the fire station meeting room. People gathered after the dedication, and there was a lot of chatter and laughter. The hardscape for the marker, which is the Gold Star marker, is impressive and very glad that it is the same as the Blue Star setting. You helped us so much, and it was our pleasure to work with you, and that is from the North Cape Garden Club. And they wrote a second letter to Mr. John Sabo. Please extend thanks to the other trustees because of the three of you have led Plain Township with grace and knowledge. The park system is something we are all proud of. The Veterans Park is a place we remember for so many who have given so much to our country. I believe the dedication of the Gold Star Memorial marker was reverent because of the humbling setting. We are proud to be a part of Plain Township and the North Cape Garden Club.
Very nice.
Yes, very nice. Yes. That was excellent. Just
Well, exceptional, well done.
everything.
Yeah, it was pretty powerful.
All right.
Very good.
That takes us to the part of the agenda where anybody in the audience who has anything to present to the board at this time may do so. Please give your name and address to the fiscal officer for on the record. Seeing none, we will move to concerns of trustees. I have just one, Gold Star certificate. At that presentation, we received 2 certificates. They were both the same. We were actually checking to make sure that we were supposed to get both of these. And if the garden club got theirs as well, then my suggestion would be that we provide one of these to the Historical Society.
I would concur.
That would be their documentation. I think they're wanting to chart the progress and document and all of that. So Rod's going to check on that just to verify. He's got the second one. So,
They're identical?
yeah, they're identical. As a matter of fact, we read and reread and they're identical. So I will pass them to Lisa. So we're good then, if those are duplicates and they were both meant for us, that one would go to the Historical Society. Concerns of fiscal officer?
No concerns.
No concerns. Approval of minutes?
So moved for June 12th, 2018.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Discussion, roll call?
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
And that takes us, we do have a need for an executive session. Be it hereby resolved by the Plain Township Board of Trustees, Stark County, Ohio, to adjourn to executive session at 6:38 p.m. from this regularly scheduled meeting of June 26th, as authorized under Ohio Revised Code 121.22G, for the purpose of the consideration of 1B, employment of a public employee or official, 1D, discipline of a public employee or official, 1E, promotion or demotion of a public employee or official, and 3, a conference with the law director or other retained counsel concerning pending or imminent court action.
So moved for second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion, roll call.
Mr. Lino?
Yes.
Mr. Sabo?
Yes.
Mr. Hawes?
Yes.
John, do you want me to leave this so you guys look at it?
Yeah.
I'll just right here.